Malaysia? We used to do meetings, a lot of meetings here in Malaysia. 4 years ago, we have, 20, 30 people, or we'd be at like just table talk with 4 or 5 people. And now we've turned into big rooms. And when the price of Bitcoin went way, way, way up to like $17,000, $18,000, or $20,000, then we'd have thousands of people in the room. So right now, we have a lot of empty seats in the back because the price of Bitcoin is really low. And that's kind of funny to me because the ones of us that have been here for 4 years, when we started Bitclub Network, the price was actually coming down from a high, and it was at like $550 when we started Bitclub, and it kept going down to $170. It went way, way, way down. And every single meeting, someone would ask, the price of Bitcoin was $1,200, now it's at $200, what's wrong? And I would have to go into a long discussion about how this happens many times with the price going up and then down again, and then up and then down again, but it keeps going on the same trend. And on the next jump, I don't know where it's going to go. It could go to $10,000 or even higher. I believe in the technology, and so when the price goes to $10,000, I'm going to be ready. Are you going to be ready? And so Sonic was ready, Jaime Captain was ready, Joe was ready, Dato was ready, a lot of other people in here, they were ready when the price of Bitcoin went over $10,000. But we saw what was going to happen when the price was at $200. We didn't get rich because we paid attention to Bitcoin when it went over 10,000. We got rich because we paid attention when it was at 200. There were people that we met that heard about Bitcoin when it was at 50 cents and 25 cents. You know what those people told us? Bitcoin's 200, it's too late. Some of you might hear from people right now, oh, Bitcoin's $3,500, it's too late. It's not too late. It's going to go to $100,000, it's going to go to $1 million. It's just what's going to happen. I mean, just look at what has continued to happen over and over and over and over and over again. And so, for those of you that are here right now, you kind of saw what we saw when the price was at 200. We're still at the very beginning of this thing. A lot of people have heard about Bitcoin, but way less than 1% of people actually own any Bitcoin. If they understood it, they would own it, correct? We all have Bitcoin. Every single person here has Bitcoin. And one thing I kind of picked up that Sonic said is that, a mining contract get paid for 1,000 days. Who has been a member of Bitclub Network in here for more than 1,000 days? How many people have been a member for more than 1,000 days? Has anybody stopped getting paid your dailies? No. Contract's only 1,000 days. Everybody go, oh, I only get paid 1,000 days. No, you don't. There's repurchases. With the repurchases, you keep getting paid. Like, you literally can be paid forever in this thing. It never has to stop. So when somebody goes, oh, well, it's only 1,000 days. Not 1,000 days. Stop saying that. Not one person in here has stopped getting paid after 1,000 days because they did repurchases. So you have people that joined Bitclub 4 years ago. What did they pay? 15, 16, 18,000 ringgit for a founder position? A lot of those founder positions have paid them what? 30 or 40,000 ringgit? 100,000 ringgit? Or, I'm sorry, 100,000, 200,000 ringgit sometimes. And they're still getting paid every single day. Even if they never sponsored one person. Sponsor 0 people. And like he was saying, like there's been so many companies come join us, we pay more than Bitclub. Come join us, we pay more than Bitclub. Come join us, we pay more than Bitclub. Until they don't pay you anymore. So if somebody's gonna lie to you and, you know, trick you, yeah, they'll pay more for a little period of time. But it's not a real business. It's just a lie. Where we actually have a real business here. And I mean, most of us that have been in for more than 4 years and have worked the business really hard, you know, people that are all mega monsters, most of us have enough money. Like, we don't need money anymore. Like, we don't need to come and talk with you guys anymore. We're only here for one reason. We want to help everybody get to where we are. When we all started, we all had, you know, normal Nike tennis shoes and, you know, a normal regular watch and normal regular cars, normal regular apartments and houses. Now it seems like everybody that's been in for a long time all have shoes that cost as much as watches. And watches that cost as much as cars. And cars that cost as much as houses. And houses that cost as much as planes. Probably 2 years from now, we're going to have a bunch of people that actually own planes. Like, that's where this whole thing is going. And, you know, when the price of Bitcoin, I kind of joke about this, but it's kind of true. When the price of Bitcoin's going crazy, everybody loves me. Everybody loves Bitclub. When the price of Bitcoin is down, Bitclub, Russ. Look, when things are hard, that's when people get rich. You understand that, right? That's when you get rich, is when things are hard. When things are easy, everybody comes into it, and there's not really getting rich. You can make some money really fast, but it's not that wealth that we're talking about. Right now, the people that are working hard right now, you guys can seriously get rich. Do you understand how hard it was when Bitcoin was $200 and nobody had heard of Bitcoin? We would literally have to sit with people for more than an hour to kind of get them to understand Bitcoin a little bit. Then we would have to explain Bitclub Network after the hour. Like, literally talk for an hour before we told them anything about Bitclub. And then they would still be like, I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense. It was hard to get people involved. But everybody here, who would like to get 1 Bitcoin for every cycle in the binary? Who would like to get 1 Bitcoin for every cycle in the binary? If your hand's down, something is wrong with you. Well, when Bitcoin was 200, it was 1 Bitcoin for a cycle in the binary. You understand? We had people cycling 10 times a day. Everybody wants to go back there so they can make so much more money. Things are harder back then than they are now. And so many people are like, Russ, it's just so hard right now. It was harder back then.
Yeah.
I mean, we were just starting. Nobody knew about Bitcoin. Now we got 4.5 years. We have hundreds of people that have become not just millionaires, multi-millionaires. You know, there's people in this room that have so many cars they can't keep them at their house, so they build a showroom. Looks like a car dealership just to hold their cars. And people come by and go, hey, are these cars for sale? No, not for sale. No. That's what members of Bitclub Network have had happen. And how people still keep joining new companies that promise a bunch of fake stuff, I have no idea how that happens. I really don't. So just want to give you guys a few updates today. So one of our frustrations with the mining, and actually with everything, is that we have to depend on third parties a lot of times. So like, if we want new stuff for the back office or new stuff for the admin panel, there's a lot of programming involved, so I depend on programmers. Programmers tell us things, they don't happen, everybody gets mad at me. I am not a programmer. I'll be clear about this. And so we've had to hire new programmers, train new programmers, fire those programmers, hire new programmers, train new programmers. So we've been through a lot of programmers, but we're always getting stuff done. And by the way, our programmers get really busy sometimes. Bitclub Network's website, and actually most exchanges and most Bitcoin companies, because we're talking about anonymous internet money, we're attacked all day, every day by hackers. Almost every single Bitcoin company, any exchange, attacked all day, every day. Whenever we get a massive attack, literally all of our programmers have to stop what they're doing and just fight the attack. You guys don't see it because the website's always up and running and just going. You guys don't even notice it, but it's always happening in the background. So that's one thing, is get a little bit frustrated with programmers, and I wish there were so many more things in the back office, and we're working on them. They're not there just because of programmers. Mining machines and hooking up equipment. Oh, got a little bit of feedback. So with mining machines, for a long time, when the demand for mining machines were really high, we had to wait for delivery a lot. Nowadays, we don't really have to wait for delivery. Hopefully that buzzing will go away in a minute. So nowadays, we don't really have to wait for delivery of machines because the demand for the machines are low, because just mining's more harder and the price of Bitcoin's down right now. But now the problem is that there's really no place to put machines anywhere in the world. Anywhere that, any data center that has a low price for electricity, every single one of them's full. Every single one. So we've already built our own facility. That is 75 megawatts. We're expanding it right now another 50 megawatts to 125. And then we have another facility right next door to that we've already begun building. We're building another facility that's 300 megawatts. I want to put that in perspective. How many of you have been to Iceland to see our one mining facility there? So you guys can see the hands. You've been there. That facility is very big, right? 45 acres. Huge facility. That entire facility is 10 megawatts. Huh? We're building facilities of 450 megawatts, to put that in perspective. So that way we can expand very quickly, because there's just nowhere to expand right now. With equipment, we want better equipment. Everybody wants better equipment. So for the past almost 2 years, I'll just let you guys know, I'm not going to give you specifics, we've been working on our own equipment. So our chips are actually done. Everything's in Mexico right now, all being, basically all of our machines are being assembled. We'll have those up and running in the next 3 to 4 weeks. You guys won't even notice the difference, really. We want to make sure everything's working like our testing has shown that it's going to work. And then we will start expanding big. We're not going to be giving out details of this because we want to sell all of our S9 ant miners, all of the old equipment, because our equipment's better. We just don't want to make big public information about our own equipment, because that'll make the S9s worth less money when we're trying to sell them. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So we'll be basically having our own equipment, bring it in, get rid of S9s. Bring our own equipment in, get rid of S9s. Once all the S9s are gone, then it's just our equipment, but we're going to be able to expand very quickly. Once that's happened, then we'll actually go public with all the details of our machines, which I think is going to surprise everybody, because they're awesome. So we're talking about no longer paying retail. I mean, we were getting good prices because we buy a lot of equipment at a time, but no longer having to pay markup companies that make the mining equipment, no longer having to pay markup to facilities to host our machines. Like, we're going to need no more third parties. We own the facilities. We own the manufacturing company. We'll own everything. That's why I think it's funny when people are like, oh, Bitclub doesn't pay out very much. They're going to be gone soon. They're going to go out of business. It's like, I have enough money. I wish Bitclub would go out of business so I don't have to keep working. I want to be at the beach every day. I want to go scuba diving. I want to go play golf. But at the same time, I want to create 10,000 millionaires. A little bit. But I see no end in sight. So this is now our 5th year. I know a lot of people want to know, like, when are we going to do a big event? So we're probably going to set up a 5th year kind of anniversary party. Working on a couple different places right now. We were trying to work on something for more like the beginning of this year, but there were some problems in Macau because mainland China does not want any more blockchain conferences in Macau. And we spent a lot of time on setting up Macau, and because the word bit is in our name, they won't let us do it there. So, working on a couple other locations, but that's going to be more like the second half of the year. And I know everybody wants to have, like I said, a big anniversary party. Also, another thing, people ask about doing transfers, because we stopped the transfers where you could transfer Bitcoin from one account to another account. All right, so that will come back, but we're adding a lot of security. A lot of people were getting hacked. Not really hacked, they were getting tricked. Generally, people do not get hacked. Big companies get hacked. People do not get hacked. People get tricked. So most people use the same username for anything that they're doing. They use the same password for anything that they're doing. They use the same email address for anything that they're doing. So somebody sees, hey, we're giving away 20 Lamborghinis, enter for free. And so people are like, ooh, I want to win a free Lamborghini. All you got to do is set up a username, give us a password, and an email address, and you're entered for free. So now they have your information that you probably use on other things. So let's say you put a Gmail account. Now they go to that Gmail account and go to log in, and they put in the password that you gave them, and now they get in your email address. They see an email from Bitclub Network. Oh, what's this? They go to Bitclub Network, enter in your username. They put in the username that you gave them. Put in your password. They put it in that you gave them. Now they're in your back office for Bitclub Network. People are not hacked, they're tricked. Does that make sense? So people would get their Bitcoin stolen because hackers would change their Bitcoin wallet address and then do a withdrawal. So we put email verification on there, which has helped a lot, but again, if you get tricked, they might have access to your email account. So we put algorithms in place that would find fraudulent withdrawals. So now people would do a withdrawal, and it would be from a new IP address, a new wallet address. It would flag, and it wouldn't let that withdrawal go out, and we would catch it. We caught, I don't know, we've caught more than 1,000 fake withdrawals just because of the algorithms that we built into our withdrawal process. So now what is going on is that they don't do a withdrawal from your account, they transfer it to fake accounts that they set up, and either do a withdrawal for there, or they'll pay it forward to another account, or they'll just buy a share for that account under a fake account that they've already set up. So then somebody goes, hey, there's a transfer from my account that I did not do. And it's like, okay, well, it looks like you've been hacked. And they go, but I didn't do that transfer, send me my Bitcoin back. Or there's a pay it forward, I didn't do that pay it forward, send me my Bitcoin back. We weren't hacked. People were tricked and hacked. Their Bitcoin was taken out of their account, but it was not a withdrawal. It was some other form of taken away. So we go cancel shares that were bought or undo transfers, but all that Bitcoin had already been withdrawn. So now there are thousands and thousands and thousands of accounts in Bitclub network that have minus balances because we did the reversal, but that Bitcoin's already taken out, if that makes sense. Almost all of those are because of the transfer feature. And it's about $20 million worth. So people are like, give us the transfer feature back. It's like, all right, give us our $20 million back. That's what's happened. So we have to add massive security to it. The transfers will come back, but it's going to be kind of a pain in the butt to transfer. But if you have legit accounts, after a short period of time, it'll be very simple, the same as it was. But all those algorithms will be in place, plus the two-factor will be in place. So just be patient. It'll be back. But we have to be careful with this. Does that make sense? Okay, good. I can explain this in person. Putting that in a news update, it gets really long and really confusing. That's why I just want to explain here, because we have people on Facebook right now watching from probably more than 20 countries right now, and this will be up on YouTube. I see different people filming. It'll be up on YouTube. We'll probably have 10,000 people watch this over the next week. So that way this information will get out there. All right, so also with BC Premier, by the way, so with BC Premier, myself, Joe, Sadek, Rashimi, we've been using the company that's in the background of BC Premier for a while, but we have a lot of one-on-one contact with them because of the platform and the program that we're a part of. A lot of you guys have seen the gold cards, and that company is a part of these gold cards. They're solid gold cards with diamonds and rubies and sapphires on them. Absolutely amazing, but it's also a concierge service in the background. So they have an app to make it where it's really easy for the average person to use it without having to just have a phone number to call directly to a guy. They'll have an app you can use. So they said they were like really, really, really ready. So we launched BC Premier to the Mega Monsters and the Monsters, but then we found out that that back-end app that they have, it works, but it's not really smooth. So that's why we haven't launched it to everybody else yet. Be patient on it. They're working on it to make it really smooth, and I believe, I'm hoping the next month or so, it's going to be really easy. And I'm telling you, we love the service that we use them with, but the way we use it is not set up for 10,000 people to use it. But BC Premier is set up so 10,000, 20,000 people can use it, no problem. So that'll get fixed up here really soon, and then everybody will have access to it. If you travel a lot, it will save you a ton of money. If you have a problem with like buying and selling Bitcoin and getting transfers from selling Bitcoin, this will help a lot because you can buy and sell Bitcoin through them at any time. You're going to have your own account. They can wire money to you. They can buy stuff for you online. You can do all sorts of cool stuff. So just be patient with that. Again, having to depend on a third party for that. It's not our platform. We're using a third party, but we love them. And I think you guys are going to love them too once that is launched for everybody. So the next exciting thing that we're doing is we have built a trading algorithm, a trading platform. And we had talked about doing a trading platform probably about, how long ago was it, 2.5 years ago? About 2.5 years ago. And we even did a meeting here in KL where we had the top leaders from all over the world fly in and talked about this algorithm that we really thought was going to be awesome, but it was from a third party. And I basically believed everything they told me without us really testing it. So we had put money in the account. It had started trading, but it hadn't been trading very long, so we really couldn't tell what was going on yet. But they talked a really big game, like this thing was going to make tons and tons and tons of money. after it had been trading for like 60 or 90 days, it really hadn't made very much money. It had made money, but not a lot of money. And so we're like, you know, this is not worth it. We're not going to sell this. And everybody was really upset and mad at us that we didn't open it up, because everybody had already lined up tons and tons and tons of people to sign up for the trading platform. So they knew if we launched the trading platform, how much money they were going to make. And people were already planning on buying houses with the commissions they were going to make. And then we said, sorry, we're not launching it. A lot of people were really, really mad. I mean, we probably would have had $100 million come in like the first 30 days. Like, everybody was excited about it. So we gave up on that, but we haven't given up on trading, because trading in cryptocurrency is not like the stock market, where you have thousands and thousands of companies that have built trading algorithms. There's actually very few in the crypto market, because the crypto market's not as big as the stock market or the Forex market. So there's still a lot of room and a lot of movement in these markets. And you'll even hear people say, oh, crypto's no good because it's so volatile. Actually, with trading, the volatility is how you make a lot of money in trading. So we found a group of guys that had already been building some algorithms that looked good, funded them, and then started testing everything, and it's been making amazing, amazing money. But we're just talking about a few accounts that are trading on a couple of exchanges, and we're talking about, like, some months we're making 40% for the money that's in our trading account. So we're like, okay, we can sell this. Like, this is sellable. I don't want anybody to think, though, that you're going to make 40% in a month, because that's happened for us, but I don't think that's going to be continually happening. I think a realistic thing is 10 to 20%. So people's expectations to make are 10 to 20%. So in other words, if you have 10 Bitcoin in a trading account, if you make 1 or 2 Bitcoin in a month profit, everybody should be happy with that, correct?
Right.
If you get lucky and make 3 or 4 Bitcoin in a month, send me a tip. I'm just kidding. So that's, Rashad, can you pull that page up? So I got my guys to set up a little page, and it's basically ready to go. Probably tomorrow, in the back offices of the mega monsters, they're all going to have access to the trader. So the way this works is you're basically just getting a license to use the algorithm. Any money you want to trade with, you will have in your own account. You're not going to give the money for trading to us. So if you have a Bittrex account, you'll just have your Bitcoin in your Bittrex account. There'll be step-by-step instructions showing you how to go set up an API. In the API, you'll have different options. Do you want to let trading occur from this API? Yes. Do you want to let sell orders happen, buy orders happen? Do you want to let withdrawals happen? No. Just say no, you don't want to let withdrawals happen. That way the trader can never do a withdrawal. If by chance you say yes, allow withdrawals, the trader will still never do a withdrawal from your account. But everybody can feel safe because you can say no to the withdrawals. Does that make sense? So your money is safe in your own account. We will never have access to withdraw your money. Okay, so this is just some of the things that you can look on. Scroll down for me a little bit. All right, so there's going to be the same as our mining, a 500 package, a 1,000, 2,000, and then founder position. So with the 500 package, you'll be able to use one exchange like Bitrex and 3 different trading pairs. Now the trader has about 50 different trading pairs right now. When I say trading pairs, I mean Bitcoin to USD, 1 trading pair. Bitcoin to Ethereum, 1 trading pair. Bitcoin to Dash, 1 trading pair. Ethereum to Dash, 1 trading pair. and there's like 50 different trading pairs. So the 500 package, you'd have one exchange you can use and 3 trading pairs, and you can have up to $2,000 or the equivalent in whatever currency in your trading account. So let's say you have access to 3 trading pairs. You can allocate $1,000 to one trading pair, $500 to another trading pair, $500 to another trading pair. Or you could put all of it on one trading pair if you wanted to. You cannot put more than that, but as you're making profit, and let's say your account goes from being worth $2,000 and it goes to $2,400 and then $3,000, as long as you don't reset everything and you just let it run, your profits will be traded also. So it's almost like it's expanding. If you try and reset everything, you go back to your maximums. Does that make sense? Because I was like, what happens if all of a sudden now their account's from 2,000 to 2,500? Like, do they have to take money out? And it's like, no. Like, they can keep doing it. Okay, so the package number 2, $1,000. Just click on it where it says 1,000. Yep. You can use 2 exchanges, 10 trading pairs, and you have up to 5,000 in your, like, being traded with the trader. Okay, the 2,000, you can use 3 exchanges, 20 trading pairs, and up to $15,000 in your trading. And then the founder, if you have all 3, unlimited exchanges, unlimited trading pairs, and up to $100,000 in your trading account. Now, we have people in Bitclub that want to start using 300 Bitcoin right now, which is $1 million. Somebody wants to use $1 million, they have to buy 10 founder positions. Here's where it gets interesting. The Forex market is like 5 trillion a day in trading going on. The stock market, I don't even know what that's at, but it's hundreds and hundreds of billions a day in trading volume. Bitcoin is 1, 2, 3, 4 billion a day in trading volume. It's much smaller. So there's one Wall Street company that actually offered $40 million for the trader. It would be nice to get that $40 million, let them use it, and then we use it also. The market's not big enough for that, so we did not sell to them. It's only for us. But we might be too big for it. So right now, the estimation is we can probably handle 150,000 accounts. I mean, we have like 1.5 million miners in Bitclub. I think that's about 600,000 people in Bitclub. I think we can only sell 150,000 of these. So that's only 1/4 of the people in Bitclub we can even sell this to. That doesn't include new people. So in the first 30 days, I don't know how many people are going to buy this, but if the trading results happen like they've been happening, and people are making 10, 15, 20% in a month, how fast do you think the 150,000 licenses are going to sell out? Fast. So this is going to skyrocket a lot of people's income very, very quickly. Now, right now, we only have 5 or 6 exchanges that are set up on this. As we add more exchanges, if we can get 15, 20, 30, 40 different exchanges hooked into this, we can add more accounts. So we might be able to take it up to 200 or 300 or 400,000. But with what we have right now, probably going to have to limit it to 150,000. And then we had a couple more exchanges, we might open up for another 20,000 licenses, but those will sell out in a day. So just want to let you guys know, this is starting very soon, like in the next couple of weeks. Okay, scroll down a little bit. Okay, so multiple exchanges, battle-tested strategies, they are working, fully automated. So again, here, go down a little bit for me. Go down a little bit. Wait, go back up. Where was it? one here where it says plus 5.89 or 2.30, 0.267, you can see the trading pairs and what's getting the best returns over the past couple hours, the past 1 day, the past 1 week, the past 30 days. You can look at the trader and how well it's doing against the different trading pairs. So again, if you just say, all right, it looks like Bitcoin to USD, just trading back and forth, has made 22% in the past 30 days. I'm cool with 22%. It might end up being less, it might end up being more over the next 30 days, but I'm gonna put my whole 2,000 into that and I'm just gonna leave it alone. And let's say you make 22%, let's say it stayed the same, you made 22%. You might go, all right, now I have $2,440 in my account. Something else is doing better. If you want to change it, you're reset to $2,000 again. But if you want to leave it there, you're leveraging the $2,400. Does that make sense? But you could go in every day and do allocations to whatever's the hottest thing that's going right now for that day. So you could do that and actually be hands-on to chase the hottest things, or just leave it on one thing and just let it run on its own. Totally up to you. Does that make sense? But all the information will be there in the back office. And again, it's in your account. We have no access to your account, so it's completely safe. Also, this will be yearly. So when we sold mining contracts, a lot of people that signed up 4 years ago, they had the repurchases, but they never actually did a new founder position, and a new founder position. This, it's yearly. But if you're making 20% a year, that's nothing to pay over and over again. So now on your downlines, you're getting this residually every year over and over and over again. Right? So again, just another new thing. We were gonna launch 2.5 years ago. It wasn't good enough, so we didn't launch it. And if we would have launched that, 100 million or more would have come in, and Bitclub Network would be out of business right now. I'd have made a ton of money really fast. We all would have made a lot of money really fast, and we would be gone. We're not greedy. We're patient. This one, 10 times, 20 times better than that other one. So that's why we are launching this one. And again, as this gets launched here in the next couple weeks, I think everybody's going to be really happy. Again, the mega monsters are going to have access to it the next day or two. And so they're going to be seeing results and letting everybody know, hey, here's screenshots of my account from Bitrix. This is my account. It's working. Some people might not want to show their accounts. They might have a little bit too much money in there and don't want to be, but you're going to know from your upline, hey, did you get the results that Russ was talking about? And they're either going to say yes or no. And if they say yes, it's going to be off to the races. Like, it's going to be crazy, crazy. All right, so I have people all the time, all over the world, that ask me questions, and everybody seems to think that their country is special. So like Johan talked to me the other day, he's like, Russ, here in Malaysia is different than the rest of the world. And he laid out a situation, I'm like, no, same, the rest of the world's all the same. Everywhere in the world is the same, just you guys don't know what's going on in the rest of the world, so you think you're special. There's always new scams popping up. Everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. South Africa all the time, Korea all the time, Japan all the time, Malaysia all the time, Germany all the time. It's everywhere in the world. And everybody seems to think that there's easier ways to get involved in MLM and cryptocurrency, and Bitclub's 4.5 years old. This is only 30 days old. I got a better chance of making money in the 30-day-old company. I'm going to tell you right now, if you guys think that, you're 100% wrong for so many different reasons. Number one, I haven't found a cryptocurrency MLM yet that is not run by people that are just lying, trying to get rich really fast and then be done with it. I have not seen that one time at all. Let's say there has been a couple that I just didn't see, that legit, honest people were trying to do the right thing. Because I'm sure that's happened, I just haven't seen it. When we started Bitclub, and I look back on it, we were clueless. We had no idea what we were doing. Joe had no idea. I had no idea. Sadiq had no. We had no idea. My business partners, we had no idea what we were doing. There were so many times where we had to make a decision to either do this or this. And we just guessed and went this direction. If we would have gone that direction, we would have gone out of business. And another time, we'll go this way this time. If we would have gone that way, we would have gone out of business. There were so many times when we were trying to figure things out, and we were always trying to do the right thing, but we also got very, very lucky along the way. Does that make sense? Like, when we started, okay, do we do everything in US dollars, so when the Bitcoin comes in, we'll convert it to US dollars, or do we just hold Bitcoin only? We're like, let's just hold Bitcoin only. We convert nothing. The only thing we're going to convert to USD is what we need to eat and pay our bills, nothing else. Everything stays in Bitcoin. We will never speculate. If we think the price is too high, we will not sell. If we think the price is too low, we won't buy extra. We're not going to leverage it. We're only going to just hold the Bitcoin and do no speculation. Lots of other people would have been speculating all over the place. We would have been wrong every single time, and we would have lost everything doing that. So we always have made decisions that we didn't know if we're making the right decision. Where all these companies that seem to start are all started by people that really don't know much about cryptocurrencies, just like we didn't when we started. And you can't guess right every time. But again, everyone I've seen just seems to be like they're just lying, and it's just the same story over and over and over and over again. We're mining, we pay more than Bitclub, Bitclub keeps most of the money, they don't pay out enough, we're building our own facilities. I mean, some of these websites actually put facilities that are fake pictures. It's not a real picture. Then they go, we're already mining, but this is our new facility we're going to build. Like, all right, look, just show me where you're on the blockchain. Doesn't exist. We can't seem to find any of these MLMs that exist on the blockchain showing their mining. So, when you're going out there talking to people, and they're like, I heard of this one, 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 I heard of this one. All these seem to be much better than Bitclub. Just use your facts and evidence. Go to blockchain.info and just say, show me where you are. That's it. Just show me where you are. Because if you can't show me where you are on the blockchain mining Bitcoin, then you're lying. And then if it's, well, we're selling this new coin and you can buy them super cheap. Okay, what's going to create the demand to make the price go up? Oh, we're going to build this platform, we're going to build that platform. Okay, well, Bitclub said the same thing, and their platform's taken a long time, but they didn't sell Club Coin, they gave Club Coin away for free. So they're saying they're going to create demand, but they didn't charge me for it, they gave it away to me. So if people are trying to sell these other real cryptocurrencies, but the way they're going to create demand is way down the road, again, we've all seen OneCoin and UToken, right? Where are they now? Gone a long time ago. And a lot of the people that were involved in them are locked up. I hate to say they deserve to be locked up, but they scammed people. So there are so many people that get involved in these scams, and generally they don't get involved because they want to be scammers. They're just uneducated. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
We all get paid. We all get rich to educate people. That's all we're doing is educating people. I have sold nothing to nobody. I have never once gone, come on, you have got to join this thing. Never. All the meetings we've ever done in Malaysia, we've never had one person that I said, hey, go to the back of the room, hurry up and sign up so you can be in first and everybody will go on your downline. We've done that 0 times. All we say is, we've been here for the past 2 hours to educate you a little bit, but the information is this big. Leave now, do more research, and once you understand what's really going on, then we think you'll want to be a part with us. Does that make sense? Never sold anybody anything. Just educated them, put them on the path to learn on their own. When somebody understands what's going on, they will chase you down with their money. You don't have to sell anything. I think I'm a good salesperson, but I haven't needed to sell nothing in Bitclub. I'm not selling me. I'm not selling Bitclub. I'm selling Bitcoin and Bitcoin mining. There just happens to be no other legitimate MLM where you can build a business wrapped around that. We just happen to be the only one. I don't know why nobody else wants to be legitimate. It doesn't make any sense to me. I thought by now we would have 10 competing, legitimate MLM companies where we'd all be on the blockchain. Then I would have to sell you and be like, all right, look, there's 10 legit MLM companies that are all mining. Here's why we're better. But that still hasn't happened after 4.5 years. That blows my mind. Not one. We're it. So go and save people. Help them from getting involved in these scams. I just feel so bad. And people are like, Russ, right now the mining payouts are really low. Just so you guys understand something. Raise your hand if you ever said the mining payouts are high. Not one hand. Not one hand. Nobody ever said, Russ, these mining earnings are awesome. Never. Never. When you look at 1 day or 1 month, it's never going to look good. Never, never, never. But a founder position, a little over 4 years ago, 15 to 18,000 ringgit, now a couple 100,000 ringgit. Is that good mining earnings, yes or no? Yes. But on a daily basis, no one ever said they were good. 0%. Russ, we can't break even in 1 year. All right, I gave this example a couple days ago. I'm staying over at the Ritz-Carlton. How much do you think it costs to buy the land and build the Ritz-Carlton and fill it with couches and beds and countertops and computer systems and everything before they open the door? How much do you think that cost? $100 million? Right? Do you think they broke even their first year? Second year? So they got their $100 million back in 3 years. No way! So let me get this right. Broke MLMers that look this far in front of their face say, I can't break even in a year, I got no interest. But the super rich, super smart go, 100 million, I will not break even in more than 10 years. How is it the rich and smart can see the future, but the broke stay broke because we look 2 days ahead of us? You have got to change people's mindsets. Stop looking at, oh, I've been watching the minings for my first week of payouts. I'm never going to break even. It's only 1,000 days. I make this much per day times 1,000, I will never break even. Have you heard that? Okay. Who in here's been more than 1,000 days? Who stopped getting paid? Nobody. It's not 1,000 days. Right now, it takes about 95% of the Bitcoin that we mine to pay our expenses. That leaves 5%. If the price of Bitcoin doubled tomorrow, how much more would we make in mining? It would double, right? Who thinks it would double? If you're not raising your hand, what do you think it will do? If the price of Bitcoin doubles, will our mining earnings double? No. Because, just to make numbers even, if we mine 100 Bitcoin and 95 Bitcoin pay the bills, 5 Bitcoin gets split up between everybody. If the price of Bitcoin doubles and we go to pay our bills, it will take half as much Bitcoin, right? So that would be like 47 Bitcoin to pay the bills, not 95 Bitcoin to pay the bills. So now we have 10 times more Bitcoin to pay out. So the mining earnings would go up times 10 if the price doubled. If the price goes up times 3, it gets even way better than that. So we're just in a weird position right now, and this has always happened in the history of Bitclub Network, where it's like, okay, it's kind of okay, oh, it's really bad. Okay, it's kind of okay, it's really bad. It's kind of okay, it's really bad. But over time, it ends up being great. You just can't see that on a one daily, day to day, week to week, month to month. You just can't see it on the numbers. Bitcoin's different. It just doesn't make sense, but that's the way it works. And then people go, well, it sounds like mining's terrible right now. Shouldn't people just buy Bitcoin? Okay, that's fine. That's fair. But when we started Bitclub Network, the price of Bitcoin was at $550. And it went down to 170. So if people would have just bought Bitcoin, it went way down, and it would take them more than a year and a half, almost 2 years, before it came up to where they'd be back to even again. Where all of our members were getting Bitcoin for a couple of years. They got more Bitcoin than they put in. So it made more sense to be involved with mining at that time. Does that make sense? If you would have gotten involved with Bitclub Network the very beginning of 2017, the price of Bitcoin was below $1,000. Over the next 1 year, rest of 2017, it went up to almost $20,000. It would have made way more sense to just buy Bitcoin. Does that make sense?
Yep.
If you would have gotten involved with Bitclub at the end of 2017, and the price is now down to $3,500, it made more sense to get involved in mining. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So if somebody's getting involved today, what makes more sense? I don't know. Bitcoin could go down to $2,000. I don't know what's going to happen. Bitcoin could jump back up to $10,000 really fast. Like, nobody knows. So that's why I hold Bitcoin, and usually I don't do trading, because when I guess, I am completely wrong. I mine Bitcoin, I hold Bitcoin, and now I'm going to let that trade some of my Bitcoin for me to make me some profit. So I don't know what is going to be the best thing. And by the way, any investment, there's risk. It's possible this could lose some money.
Yeah.
It's just all of our testing has just been amazing, 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 amazing results. But you never know. There could be, it could be where Your first month, you could make 25% on this. The second month, you might make 18%. The third month, you might make 32%. The fourth month, you might lose 4%. I don't know what's going to happen. If that happened, what's funny is some people will be like, well, I'm not going to use the trader anymore. And the next month, the people who kept using it might make 28%. Like, nobody really knows what's going to happen, but this is not a thinking, emotional person. This is running on algorithms that are watching trading volumes, where the price is going. Like, it's just estimating what's happening, and it just bam, 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 bam. It's not like us where it's like, ooh, the price was just down. Ooh, it came back up a little bit. I'm gonna wait for it to come back down and buy again, and it doesn't come back down. It just keeps going up. Everybody's had that happen before?
Yeah.
It's happened to me so many times. This does not work on emotion. It's just math. But again, nobody knows what's going to happen in the market. So it's possible that could lose some money 1 month, just not what we've experienced so far. So my main thing that I want to get across to everybody is your attitude and the people you're talking to's attitude. If people think that all the payouts in Bitclub are just not big enough, not for me, I saw this deal over here, they're paying out more. Again, they're probably uneducated people. Try to educate them. But some people just won't listen. You gotta understand, there's people we talked to at Bitclub Network. It took them 3 years before they joined Bitclub Network. Not everybody are gonna see the vision of what we see. But you guys see the vision. I'm just hoping that right now, when the price is low, you guys are out working as hard as we were working when we got started at Bitclub Network, because we saw how much money this could turn into. Like, I'm not kidding. Bitcoin's going to be 100,000, I think, in the next 3 years. So where the price is right now, it's 3.5% of where I think it will be 3 years from now. So imagine if right now you're making for every cycle 30 times more money than you're actually getting. I mean, think about that. Bitcoin goes to 100,000. What you make $200 right now will be worth 6,000 3 years from now. We did not start buying and spending our Bitcoin our first 6 months, our first year, our first 2 years. 2 years into Bitclub, we were making money. And I was still flying economy and still staying in little tiny hotel rooms. And I was just holding on to that Bitcoin. I had no house, I had no car, nothing. But I had a wallet full of Bitcoin. And I would show my Bitcoin wallet at meetings. And a lot of times I even show 1,000 Bitcoin in a Bitcoin wallet. But Bitcoin was 200. People are like, 200 bucks, 200 grand, that's not a big deal. I'm like, well, when Bitcoin hits 10,000, remember, you saw a wallet with 1,000 Bitcoin in it. Just remember that. And I haven't bought anything, so when Bitcoin hits 10,000, just remember, has Russ bought anything yet? Oh my gosh. So now when people look what we have, they know it's because we worked so hard when the price was low. And again, it had been 1,200, came back down, we worked hard. Next jump, we sold a bunch of Bitcoin, and now we all have really cool stuff. Now it's back down. Now's when everybody needs to be working hard before that next big jump. Look, we're going to create 10,000 millionaires. It's not going to be on this next big jump. The first one, we were able to create a few hundred millionaires. The next jump, let's say it goes to 100,000. That means you're going to need to have 10 Bitcoin to be a millionaire. I think we can, well, actually, no. On the next jump, yeah, it might go to 100,000 on the next jump. But I don't think we'll have 10,000 people that have 100,000, or I don't think we'll have 1,000 people, 10,000 people that have 10 Bitcoin yet. I don't think, not yet, not yet. But then I think Bitcoin's going to come back down and then sit at probably about $20,000, and then that'll be the next low where people are like, oh, Bitcoin's so low, it's only 20,000. That's going to happen. And then the next jump, I think, is going to be a really big one. Let's say it goes to $300,000 or $400,000. Now people are going to need like 2 or 3 or 4 Bitcoin to be millionaires. At that time, I think we will have 10,000 people that will have 5 Bitcoin, and we'll have 10,000 millionaires. So I'm not saying we're going to have 10,000 people that earn $1 million in commissions. I'm saying we're going to have 10,000 people that work hard enough and have educated themselves enough and have been smart enough to hold on to that Bitcoin to become millionaires. That's what's going to happen here. So it's not me that I'm creating 10,000 millionaires. We're just helping everybody to learn that this is going to revolutionize the world. Everybody's going to be a part in using Bitcoin, and we're in that first way less than 1% of those people that see it. I mean, imagine if you could earn money with just owning a computer and hooking up to the internet. You could own money, and you could get money for free. And imagine you were in the first way less than 1% of people to be using the internet. And all you had to do was buy a computer and sign up and plug your computer in, and you're on the internet, and now you're going to get money. That's basically what Bitclub is, but it's not the internet, it's Bitcoin. Raise your hand if you do not use the internet every day. 0 hands. 0 hands. Raise your hand if you use the internet every day 25 years ago. 0 hands. In the next 10 years, every person's going to be using Bitcoin every day. And we're in that first way less than 1%, where really all we have to do is jump in, get some mining, get the trading, and we don't even have to tell anybody. And we can make money from this. Does that make sense? If you want to go tell people and spread your good fortune, then you can make crazy, crazy money. If I would have told you 4 years ago, well, we did tell you, some people just didn't listen. 4 years ago, if you would have jumped in and bought your founder position for 15 to 18,000 ringgit, and now you had 200,000 ringgit, and that's all you made, would you be happy? Sadiq and Joe and Shah and Johan and Madelin and Gautam, if you guys made 200,000 ringgit in the last 4 years, would you be happy? I want to stab myself in the neck. 200,000 ringgit is nothing. Nothing. Some people are happy with it. Some of us spend that in a weekend. Some of us have watches worth more than that. It's nothing. Some people are happy with that. There's different levels of expectations here. So if you know people that just want a little bit of money, 200,000 ringgit, just sign them up for the mining. But I'd rather go find people that want millions, tens of millions of ringgit. Does that make sense? We're sifting for gold. That's all we're doing. We're sifting for gold. We're sifting for gold. We're sifting for gold. We're sifting for gold. We're looking for those Pawalins and Joes and Rashainis and Sadiqs and we're just looking for those few special people. You understand? The guys I'm mentioning, you know they're special, right? You know they're special, right? You know what makes them special? When things are hard, they work harder. When everybody's negative, they can block it out and just keep going. I'm telling you, you guys think it's hard right now. It was harder, way harder 4 years ago. We had no watches to flash. Nobody here had Mercedes. Nobody. Now everybody. Nobody had nice watches. Now everybody. We were just sitting in a room with a bunch of us from 4 years ago. I was like, oh my God, every single person has Louis Vuitton shoes on. Every single one. Except for Sonic, he has Jimmy Cho's. Everybody's wearing crazy watches. All of us. It's not like one guy got rich and everybody else was, had an okay car. Like, all of us. There's not one person in this room that was here 4 years ago. People that were here 4 years ago and they're still here today, like still working the business, I think almost every single one is a millionaire. Almost every single one. Every single one. Has that ever happened in the history of network marketing? And a lot of you guys are like, oh, Russ, you're such a... This has nothing to do with me. 0% to do with... I'll tell you why it has 0% to do with me. I've been in network marketing full-time for way more than 20 years. In the past 4 years, I did nothing different than my previous 20 years. I worked just as hard, did just as many presentations, was just as popular. I have been the same for more than 20 years. I did the exact same thing this time. I believed 100% in every company I've ever pitched in my network marketing career. I always believed 100%. And when I didn't, I went to a different company. I was always excited the day I joined and pitched with 100% of my heart until I started figuring out and the company started letting me down and then I can't pitch this anymore and I would go to the next company that I was really excited about. Does that make sense? With Bitclub, it's the exact opposite. Everybody joins and they barely understand what's going on and the mining earnings are really terrible and there's just all this. But then it's like, oh, mining pays a little better than I thought I did. Oh my God, I get paid every day. Oh, they pay on time. And everybody gets happier and happier and happier with Bitclub as time goes on. We're just kind of the opposite of everything. So for those of you that are brand new, just understand, a year from now, you'll be way more happy about Bitclub than you are today. And 2 years from now, you'll be more happy than you were 1 year ago. It's just the way it works. And you're going to learn more about Bitcoin. You're going to learn more about cryptocurrency. Every day, I read stuff about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies and just what's happening in the world to educate myself. Everybody here knows a lot about the internet, even though you don't know anything complicated about the internet. You just learn little bit over the last 10, 20 years to where you know a lot now. Bitcoin's the same way. There's nothing complicated about it. I mean, there are complicated things, but you don't need to know those things. I don't know those things. But you're just going to learn simple, little bit, over the next 1 year, 2 year, 3 or 4 year, where literally you're going to be a cryptocurrency ninja. 5, 6 years from now, there's no more opportunity. New people getting involved in the world of Bitcoin 5 or 6 years from now are just going to be users. When Bitcoin is $2 or $3 or $4 or $500,000 for one Bitcoin, it's going to be hard to get rich from Bitcoin. You're going to need to already be rich to get involved with Bitcoin. So when somebody needs to buy $100 worth of Bitcoin to do a transaction, they're just buying that little bit to use it. They didn't get rich like we did. So we're in a very special place right now where the price is still super low, even though some people think the price is really high. It's not. It is super low. Just like I told people when it was 200, it's super low. But when you meet somebody that had bought Bitcoin when it was 25 cents and sold it for $20, they're like, I bought 25 cents. I sold it $20. How can I get back in at 200? It's 10 times more expensive than I sold it at. It's still cheap. It's still cheap. Oh my gosh. We went to a burger place in Berlin. It's a hamburger place. They were the first business, to ever accept Bitcoin. they started accepting Bitcoin for selling hamburgers when Bitcoin was 50 cents. And the owner, like, used to speak at big blockchain conferences, Bitcoin conferences, like he's really into Bitcoin and really understood it. So if he sold a hamburger for $10, he would be getting 20 Bitcoin. And he didn't sell any of that Bitcoin. He held it all. Think about this. The same thing's happening. I use cheapair.com many times to book plane tickets because you can pay with Bitcoin. Well, I know. Joe said it hurts because we spent so much Bitcoin paying for plane tickets when Bitcoin was, $200, $300, $500. My brother, he really doesn't travel, but he just flew to meet me, and he booked a plane ticket on cheapair.com. I guess cheapair.com has saved a lot of that Bitcoin. So now they've made a lot of money from selling plane tickets because they accepted Bitcoin. So now, if you pay using cryptocurrency, you have a special helpline to help you with anything, special concierge service, like they now have special everything for people that pay with cryptocurrency because they've made so much money from holding that cryptocurrency. And that's where things are going. It's like, okay, you want to pay Visa, MasterCard? Pay with cryptocurrency? What can we do for you, sir? And that's that really is what's happening. Because all these companies, they want people to pay with Bitcoin because they all know the price is low right now. So the fiat currency that they have in the bank, they'll use that and they'll just hold the crypto. That's what's going on right now. So, all right, how long have we been talking for? 10 minutes? That's almost an hour and a half, right? I started at 4, right? I think I started at 4. It's like 5:25. Yeah, it's funny because Sonic's like, all right, I'm gonna introduce you, finish by 6. So long. No, it's not, oh sorry, it's 4:30. I started at 3, now it's almost 4:30. Okay. I'm trying to think, what else can I talk about? See, that's the thing, like Bitclub, we've been around for so long, and we've been doing the same things for so long. I feel like I'm repeating myself for the 10,000th time because I've said the same thing over and over and over again. I'm just excited that we have some new people here that are kind of hearing stuff from Sonic and myself for the first time. And again, like I said, if we didn't have to do this anymore, we've all made enough money. But I don't see any end in sight. I still have to go do more meetings. We still have lots more equipment to buy and set up. We're still expanding our operations. Like I said, every other cryptocurrency MLM that I've seen, after 2 years, they're all gone. We've been here 4.5 years, and we're literally buying hundreds of acres of land and building hundreds of thousands of square feet of facility that all owned by Bitclub. It's not like we're renting this, we own it. Like it's assets for Bitclub. So we're really doing a lot for the future. I just hope we're not going to be here forever. I want to retire someday. But, after Bitcoin goes to 200,000 or 300,000, I think we'll have 10,000 millionaires, and then we can just, we'll just give Bitclub to one of you guys, and you guys can take it over.
There's a lot of lights from excitement from Russia, from Germany, Korea.
Yeah, we got people literally all over the world watching right now. And just so you guys know, I feel kind of bad. So Zalani, how many days a week do you guys do meetings in a room this size? Every day. Every day. Hey, Zalani, hang on. Every day, how many empty seats are there? All full. No empty seats. Every single day in a room this size. In Africa. In Malaysia, people have more money than Africa. You know that, right? You guys, look, I don't want to put you down, but come on, man. This room should be full every day with 90% new people. Maybe you guys just have great jobs and have it good and don't need extra money. I'll tell you in Africa what's going on. Those people got no money and they are desperate. Desperate. We have people that use their food money to buy the 99 pool. Like the food money for a month for their family to buy the 99. They use their rent money for the month to buy the 500 pool. And if they cannot cycle 2 or 3 times in their first month, they cannot pay their rent. I got a lady that did that, by the way. Her name's Sandisa in South Africa. She used the food money for her and she's a single mother of 3. And she used their food money to sign up for the 99 and used the rent money, the 500, to get the 500 pool. And if she did not cycle the 3 times in her first month, she would have been kicked out of her apartment. In her first 90 days, she bought a brand new Mercedes. Now, she has an office like this. And I guarantee you she spends more than $99 a month on food now. Now she's married and pregnant. Maybe she has a new baby by now. But we have stories like that with thousands and thousands of people that have completely changed their lives. The biggest life-changing stories were the people that had nothing and were desperate and went to work. If you're comfortable in your job and it's like, oh, I'd like to have more money, those are the people I actually feel sorry for the most, because you're probably not going to get rich. Does that make sense? And if you're saying, no, that's not me. I have a good job, but I really want to be rich. If you watch television and you are not rich already, you're not going to be rich. If you have lots of other activities that you do and you're not rich already, you're not going to be rich. If you have children and you spend a few hours a day playing with your children and you're not rich already, you're not going to be rich. When you decide that you want to be rich and you start making a list of the things, a lot of people make a big mistake. Because to get rich basically takes 3 things. Number 1, you have to decide what you want. That's simple enough, right? Very specific. I want to have $1 million in my bank account. I want to own an whatever Mercedes. I want this type of van. I want a 4-bedroom, 4-bath house. Exactly what you want. The next thing you need to do, and this is where people make the mistake, because they put a list of what are you willing to do to get it. That's what people always put, right? What are you willing to do to get it? That will not work. You have to put, what are you willing to give up to get it?
Yeah.
Because if you're not really willing to give up time with your family, you're not willing to give up your favorite TV shows, and you're not willing to give up going to play football with your friends on the weekend, if you're not willing to give up going out to the club on the weekend, if you're not willing to give these things up, you will never get what you want. And the last thing is never quit. Now, for me personally, for more than 20 years, every Sunday in America, I watched American football. Loved watching American football, followed all the teams, used to play fantasy football, very into it. Started Bitclub Network. I have not watched football in 5 years. Done with it. No, I miss it. I miss football. I enjoy watching football. But now when I see football, I don't know any of the players anymore. Everything's completely different now. So it's just like gone, but I really, really enjoyed it. So it's not like quit smoking. That's like watching football. I like watching football. But I wanted to be rich more than I wanted to watch football. Also, I gave up playing golf. I used to play golf a lot. I like playing golf. Golf's fun. Golf's enjoyable. I didn't play golf for about 5 years. Had no time to play golf. I was literally on plane doing meeting, plane doing meeting, plane doing meeting, plane doing meeting, in a van doing meetings, in a van doing meetings, in a van doing meetings. And I did that for 3 years. I had no apartment, no house for the first 3 years of Bitclub Network. All I did was go to the next meeting, 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 over and over and over again. I cared about getting rich. I am so sad I have not spent more time with my son, but I wanted him to have a future that I never had growing up. I didn't have nice cars and nice clothes and nice house and nice school. I didn't have nice nothing growing up. My mom was a single mom with 2 crazy, insane boys that caused tons of trouble. She worked so hard. I mean, she worked so hard. She took, very, very, very good care of us, but we were not rich. I want my son to be rich. And I was willing to give up time spending with him when he was young because I saw what a giant, giant opportunity we had with this. My son is never going to have to struggle the way I struggle. My kids' will never struggle the way I struggle. His grandkids will never struggle the way I struggle because of what I did for that period of time. It's just, are you willing to give up what I was willing to give up? And if you're comfortable, you might not be willing to do that. That's all I'm saying. So I feel kind of bad for the people that have good jobs, not rich, but you're comfortable. I have a nice apartment, I have a nice car, I have nice clothes. I don't work 100 hours a week, I just work my 40 hours a week, I have fun on the weekends, but I wish I was rich. You guys can understand, it's hard for a person like that to become rich. Because how do you just stop? No more going out, no more this. All the things I love to do, finished. All I'm going to do for the next 3 years is work morning, noon, night. First thing when I wake up, last thing before I go to bed. All the time in between. People are not willing to do that. We work. Just understand that. It's nice to go, oh, those guys are lucky, they got the watches and the shoes and the cars and the houses. We were not lucky. When we started Bitclub, we had none of this. 0 of it. Not one of us had money before Bitclub. None of us. We all got money now. If you're not a millionaire in the next 2 to 3 years, you are the only one to blame. There are people sitting in this room that have no money right now and will be a millionaire 2 to 3 years from now. And there's people sitting in this room that will not. Sorry, I got a little excited. All right, I'm back. All right, everybody, look. I'm so happy you guys came to see me today. I love Malaysia. I've been here a lot. Sonic and Rashimi. Look, a bunch of these guys, not just Sonic and Rashimi, but I'm not kidding you. Sonic and Rashimi are like two of my very best friends in the world. I love Shaw, I love Dato, I love Smokewaller. I love so many of you guys, and I spent so much time in Malaysia, traveling around in Malaysia, and I'm so happy to be back here with you guys again. And that's why I have, literally that's why I'm having my son's birthday party here, is because I love being here in Malaysia.
Yeah.
So you guys will be seeing me again, and I can't wait to see some of you as you start growing, and then, you know, you're still newish, become a pro builder, become a master builder, become a monster builder, become a mega monster. I can't wait for that to happen. Just stay consistent. It will happen. I promise you. So, all right, everybody, you want to close it out, Rashimi? You want to come finish? Yeah. Okay, by the way, how many of you here do not know Rashimi? Raise your hand if you do not know Rashimi. It's like 2 people. All right, never mind. I was going to tell you about Rashimi, but everybody knows Rashimi already. All right. I love this guy. Rashimi is just the nicest guy. I've never heard him or Sadiq say a mean word about anybody ever. He's just too nice. You guys are so lucky to have Rashimi and Sadiq and Madelin and Shah. And seriously, you guys have so many amazing, amazing leaders here. That's why we've created so many millionaires here. And there's going to be so many more. It's because of guys like this.
I love you too, bro. Okay, teman-teman. Bapak kamu yang paham betul-betul apa dia cakap.